And welcome into this edition of ACAP Today for the week of March 28th, 2022. I'm Jason Parent with the Aroostook County Action Program. On this week's edition of ACAP Today, we're going to speak with ACAP COO Jamie Chandler and ACAP's housing counselor, that's Dawn Whitkey, and they're going to talk with us about the Homeowner Assistance Fund and the Homeowner Assistance Program, which will be launching in the coming months. But we want to sort of get folks thinking about that program and getting folks to understand who may be and who is not going to be eligible for participation in that program, so that you can sort of be thinking ahead and a little bit about what we know at this point, and that's a big part of this conversation, how folks will be able to apply for that. So it's still very early on in the process, but we know we got communications out there and we've been promising to get communications out there to folks. So we wanted to sort of talk about what the expectations are with the program with you, and just again to share with you that it is not launched yet. So we'll begin first with the news and information that you can use again on this week's edition of ACAP Today. And we start with just that. I just want to share one more piece of information about the Homeowner Assistance Program and what we know so far. And again, we'll make that the feature part of our interview. It's tentatively scheduled to launch on March 2nd, or May 2nd, I should say, just to be clear, May 2nd, 2022. And it will provide up to $25,000 per eligible household, and it's funded through the U.S. Department of Treasury, administered here in Maine by the Maine Bureau of Consumer Credit Protection. We're going to talk a lot more about which households will and will not qualify for that $25,000 up to $25,000 threshold again in our feature interview. So more on that to come. We just want to remind folks of a program that is very much up and running right now, and that's the Home Energy Assistance Program. And we are receiving more and more calls and serving more and more individuals. The good news is we have appointments available at this time of year, typically within the week that you call. So we're really encouraging folks, if you see that your household size and income level align on the chart that you're seeing on the screen now, and you can also access this on our website, by the way. We really encourage you to give us a call. And most specifically, if your household income has changed and your most recently completed month's income falls in line with the income qualification guidelines in that first column there next to household size, the 1 month column. If your household falls around or under that amount, please do give us a call to schedule an appointment. If it falls slightly above, we still encourage you to give us a call, because there can be expenses such as medical out-of-pocket expenses that can be deducted to help you meet that threshold. It's certainly worth a call, and we do have the bandwidth to support almost immediate same week, in many cases, same week appointments at this time. So please, again, give us a call. The special specific number for HEAP, 768-3053. If you are having difficulty paying your electric utility bills, your heating utility bills, and you are a renter, again, this is for renters, this is part of the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, and you would like help not only covering your rent, but covering the cost of electricity, sewer, water, trash, heat, and internet, please go to mainrentrelief.com or give us a call here at 764-3721. We can help complete an application with you online. And it will be, we are processing between 4 and 8 weeks on this program, so please be patient with us. We have a high volume, but as there are increased costs of utilities right now, more and more folks are working to get into this program, and we'd be happy to support folks in that. Just give us a call or go to mainrentrelief.com and begin the process. The community closet at ACAP's 771 Main Street facility in Presque Isle is up and running. It's there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for folks. It is based like our community cupboard, which provides non-perishable food items just next to it on the give what you can, take what you need principle. So if you would like to drop off clothing, or if you have clothing needs at this time, please visit our community closet again at ACAP's 771 Main Street facility. We are also passing along to you information from our WIC program about something that we told you about a number of months ago, and this is an enhanced fruit and vegetable benefit. That benefit has been extended for families through this fall, all the way through September 30th. WIC participants are eligible for this program. It provides an additional $24 a month for children, $43 a month for pregnant and postpartum participants, and $47 a month for breastfeeding participants to provide for the purchase of fruit and vegetables in addition and above and beyond the traditional WIC benefit. You can call the WIC team by accessing them at 764-3721. And we encourage you, if you have young children, if you have preschool age children or are a pregnant mom out there, to please consider applying for the WIC program. It is an income eligible program, but it is one of the more liberal income eligible programs that we have within our agency. So many and most, I would say, Aroostook County households do qualify for receiving WIC benefits, and we would love to serve you in this regard, especially with the high cost of food and groceries at this time. Our Project Teach continues to help folks throughout Aroostook County, and we've had a high demand for this. Project Teach, just to remind you again, stands for Transportation, Education, Access, Care, and Housing, and it's a program specifically designed for individuals who are undergoing cancer treatment at this time, or oncology treatment, that are facing challenges attending those appointments due to transportation, or if you're having to leave the area, lodging costs as well. You can give us a call here at ACAP. Andrea White manages this program, and her number is 554-4150 directly, or you can email her at awhite@acap-me.org, and she can help connect you with other resources and also talk to you about resources that we might have available through Project Teach. This is a partnership between ACAP and the Maine Cancer Foundation. Oral health services are available to folks countywide. These services are available for youth age birth to 18. Our own dental hygienist, Lucy Morin, is available to do oral health screenings, cleaning, varnishes, and molar sealants. If there's further work that's required that's sort of outside of our capability and really needs a referral to a dentist, we will do that. We will refer you to a dental practice. We will also help to connect you to a dental practice if you would like, regardless. So we certainly encourage that conversation to be extended as well. Now, this is a free service for Maine Care participants with the valid Maine Care card. For non-Maine Care participants, there's a $42 private pay cost, but there is a payment assistance available. No one will be turned away from services, so we certainly encourage you to reach out to us for these services. You can call our Maine number 764-3721 for that. The COVID-19 vaccination, we're tracking these rates regularly. This was our last update as of St. Patrick's Day. We didn't have a new update prior to the recording of this program at this point, but for anyone age 5 and older, we're reminding folks that they are eligible to receive a vaccine, and in some cases a booster. So please do check out the maine.gov/COVID-19/vaccine website to see where there's an appointment nearby you to get either your vaccine or booster. You can also call us at 764-3721, and our reception team would be glad to help look that information up online if you're unable to access it online. There's also the free vaccine ride program from the Department of Health and Human Services. That's available with a 48-hour notice at the toll-free number, the 1-855 number on your screen there. Again, Aroostook County is one of the few spots left in the nation, Aroostook and Washington County on this map, continuing to show high community transmission levels. It's one of the reasons why our ACAP staff and our customers coming into our offices are continuing to require mask wearing, but it looks like we're turning the curve in other parts of the country, and hopefully Aroostook County will follow suit soon. There are also, speaking of COVID-19, there are also continued free at-home COVID-19 tests that are available. That initial order of 4 sets that folks were offered earlier this year has now been sort of renewed. So if you go onto that website, covidtest.gov, and haven't ordered your second set of 4 tests, you will be able to do that, and in placing your address in there. They've sort of cleared the queue again, and you can place a second order now at this point. There's also Maine households who are eligible for additional free rapid at-home tests through accesscovidtest.org. It is limited to 1 order still per residence and address during the first phase of this project. In that test kit, there are 5 tests in it, and in the covidtest.gov, there are 4. Support remains available, and we've had an uptick actually at our agency in people calling for this service again, which would indicate that cases are still prevalent here in Aroostook County. This is for quarantine community supports. If you're asked to quarantine or isolate, we can help deliver meals and groceries to you. It's best to either give us a call at 764-3721 to ask for help with quarantine, or to go to the Community Care for Social Supports COVID site within the Department of Health and Human Services. You can Google it right online, community supports or isolating supports here in the state of Maine. We'd be glad to help with this service if you are eligible to receive it. It's not a financial eligibility, it's just an eligibility based upon your status in terms of COVID close contact or diagnosis. And we also want to remind folks, as we're heading into this already, believe it or not, the last weekend of the free tax preparation program for the Aroostook Cash Coalition, a partnership of ACAP, United Way of Aroostook, New Ventures, Maine, and a number of other community partners, including a sponsorship by the County Federal Credit Union. You can dial 211 or visit cashmaine.org to schedule your appointment. They're closing in fast. Again, we're heading into the last week here. It's for households that have an income of less than $58,000 a year that are eligible to get those taxes prepared for free. So give them a call or check them out at cashmaine.org quickly if you'd like to get an appointment here in this last week. We also want to share with you that Head Start, our Head Start program here in Aroostook County and Head Start programs across the state are planning a virtual day this week to head to Augusta on Tuesday, March 29th. It'll take place between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. There is a virtual opportunity to participate in this. If you have any questions or information, if you're a Head Start family and you haven't heard about this yet and might like to participate, Amy Murchison, a program coordinator with our early care and education program here at ACAP, is available. You can contact her at the email address there on your screen. And lastly, we always want to share with you at the end of our news and information that you can use that if you're in need of any assistance, and we haven't talked about it specifically here in this broadcast news segment of ACAP today, please give us a call. We have a team of navigators that can help you. They're located across Aroostook County. You can reach them directly by calling our main line here at 764-3721. It is part of the services that we're providing as we continue to recover as a community from the effects of the pandemic. And that's this week's news and information that you can use again for this, the week of the 28th of March, 2022. We're now pleased to welcome to the program a familiar face and a new face. First of all, Jamie Chandler, who's ACAP's Chief Operating Officer. Jamie, welcome back.
Thanks, Jason. Happy to be here today.
And Dawn Whipke, this is your first appearance, I believe, on ACAP today. You are ACAP's housing counselor, and we're so glad to have you. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, well, Jamie, I'm going to start with you on this because just last week you were on WAGM on News Source 8 as part of the Community Matters series that we talk about. And you were talking about the program we're going to talk about today, which is the Homeowner Assistance Program, and why that's so critically important right now. So can you provide us a little bit of that context as to why this is necessary and why it's important?
Absolutely. So as you may or may not know, homeownership in Aroostook County is actually very prevalent. We actually have more homeowners in Aroostook County than we do renters. And so we've been offering a rental assistance program for over a year, and we've received a number of calls from homeowners asking for some support. Our homeowners are struggling in areas of being able to, in some cases, pay their monthly mortgages, pay their taxes or their home utilities. And so we're really excited about the opportunity for this particular program because this program is going to be able to provide the opportunity for us to assist eligible homeowners with support to help alleviate some of the pressures around those home ownership associated costs.
That's great to know. And I know a lot of people have been waiting for this, but we don't want to sort of tamper those expectations and that anticipation. But I think one of the things we want to be very clear about communicating, because we've been receiving a number of calls since that story aired, Jamie, and we're very, very proud and fortunate to be able to be a part of helping to deliver this service here locally. But Dawn Whipke, I wanted you to come on specifically to help us understand, because it's not the rental assistance program for homeowners. It's actually very different than that program. And we don't want to mislead folks into thinking it's just taking that same program and plopping it over here for homeowners. So talk us through what you know at this time. And I understand it's still very premature because we're looking at a launch date that's still some time away here. And we're going to continue to update folks and probably be back with another edition of this program as we get closer and more clarity. But what do we know at this time, Dawn?
Thank you, Jason. At this time, the understanding is that your income must have been adversely affected by COVID-19 as of January 20th, the starting date. If that is the case and you are in danger of losing your home through foreclosure, through your lender, the town taxes, if you're behind on the electric bills or any other utility bills. And going back to the lender foreclosure part, you must have had all other loss mitigation options denied, meaning you spoke with your lender, or you spoke with me, a housing counselor, and we've tried to get a forbearance or a modification to the loan, and all options have been denied. Then these HAF funds are out there to assist homeowners in saving their homes. Also, you may have been granted a modification, but you're finding that it is just not affordable. The payments still are not affordable to you, and you need help getting caught up. They also are available for that option as well, too.
So Dawn, to your knowledge at this point, so let's just get some clarity on a few of those points. You mentioned as of January 20th, I'm assuming that that dates back to the first year of the pandemic. So your household income, because of the pandemic, directly related to the pandemic, was impacted dating back to as far as January 2020, correct?
2020, yes.
And so, and then also beyond that, just so folks understand, there is the component, or there are components to that, there's the mortgage assistance. There's also some provision of utility assistance. I understand there's up to a $25,000 cap on that, but all of that assistance is accessible only if you've gone through, as you pointed out, and maybe help folks understand, and I think you did with some clarity, what is meant by the loss mitigation. So it's not just, I'm going to apply for this simply because I have had a direct related hardship. There's an A and a B here.
Yes. If you're in imminent danger of losing your home to foreclosure through your lender, of course, with taxes and help with utilities, there are no loss mitigation options. So those ones will be looked at first. But when you apply online at the BCCP's website, they will have available sometime in the future here. It will be looked at then. And I believe one of the first questions they're going to ask is, have you started the loss mitigation option and been denied for that option? And then you will be referred to a housing counselor such as myself to explore those options.
And so just so I'm clear, and so our viewers understand clearly, that is to access either assistance with mortgage or any of the utility assistance payment, or there is a potential track for folks on the utility assistance side of things that does not. I know a lot of people are very concerned right now about utilities. Just again, to keep in mind that there is the absolute requirement that the household income has been displaced directly because of COVID, which is an important precision from rental assistance, because Jamie Chandler, as you know, our rental assistance program it's because if your household income has been impacted as a result of the pandemic, which includes higher costs. So that's a clarifier here. Jamie, right? That would be a clarifier.
Yeah, that is a clarifier. So for the homeowner assistance program, your income has to be directly impacted because of the pandemic. So perhaps a job loss, or hours have been cut, or some sort of a direct impact from your earned income has been impacted by the pandemic. So higher utility expenses is not a qualifier for this particular program.
So not on the expense side of your household ledger, but on the income side and the direct connection with the pandemic.
Yes.
And Dawn, to the point that I was making earlier, again, for clarity of folks out there, is there a gateway or a way, as you're doing the application once it lands online, and we know none of that has been launched yet, to be able to request assistance if you are, aside from the mortgage side of things, if you haven't if you've experienced the hardship but haven't gone through any loss mitigation as a result of your mortgage? Is there any way to access that you know of at this point? And I know we don't know all of the answers, but any way to access the utility assistance side of that program?
there's no real definite answer on that yet. They're still working on it, but they are going to notice that it is not a lender foreclosing. They're in danger of losing their electric power or losing their home through taxes, and they do realize there's no mitigation involved with that. So those ones will be moved on forward, and the application will be processed from there. If they do notice that it is a lending foreclosure, that's when they will ask, has there been any other options, available to you? If not, they will forward it on and we will go from there.
That's an important clarification. Thank you, Don. And again, we'll continue to provide information to the community as it becomes available to us and as the application, the online application is closer to being launched. Jamie, to that point, the engagement of ACAP, we're here to help folks get registered through the program once it gets online, but that also is going to be very different than the engagement of the agency with the ERA or Emergency Rental Assistance Program, isn't it?
That is correct. So the as far as we are aware at this point, the applications will be going through an online portal, which is administered through the Bureau of Consumer Credit Protection Services. And once those applications have been filed there, they will then be transferred to the community action agencies to verify the documentation, to reach out to the applicants in the event that perhaps there's something missing or we need additional information. And we will work on doing the certification, if you will, of those applications. At that point, the information will be sent back to that portal, and decisions on payments will be made through the Bureau, and payments will be made directly from the Bureau to the particular vendor for which the payments are due.
And Dawn, your specific role, I know you're not working on the processing side of this at all. Talk to folks about what you anticipate and understand your engagement as our housing counselor here at ACAP will be with this work.
Yes. If your application comes in and it's determined that you have not tried any loss mitigation with your lender, then it'll come to me and I can help with that process. That's what I've been trained to do. Maybe it's a forbearance, which is just making partial payments for a little while until you can get caught up. Maybe it's a loan modification, which is taking the arrearages, putting them on the end, putting any fees you may have incurred on that on the end, and making a payment that is more affordable to them. That's a long process that you'll definitely need help with. I've been trained in doing that. I'll be doing that with them. It could be just some type of repayment plan that you need to negotiate with the lender as well. And I'm available to help anyone with that at any time.
Now, if folks are out here and they're hearing us talk about this right now, and we're talking about a tentative launch date right now of May 2nd, and they're finding themselves maybe feeling already underwater, and the word or the concept of foreclosure has already been circulated in terms of what may or may not happen with them, if they're feeling like they're in that kind of a situation, what would your advice be there? Would it be to wait for this program, or would it be to reach out to you sooner than that?
I'd definitely reach out sooner, because it's a step that has to be gone through in order, to get to the HAP funds if any other option is not available. So definitely reach out, contact me anytime. Be glad to help.
So that's a very important piece to note. This is a service that has been an ongoing service of ACAP, that homeownership counseling, and particularly counseling as it relates to trying to prevent foreclosure or to help a household if that is the process that ends up happening, to sort of navigate through that. And that's Don obviously works to try to help avoid that with all of the individuals and households he works with. But that is a program that is available here through ACAP. It's part of the services that will be touched through the homeowner assistance program, but don't wait if you're finding yourselves in a challenging position and are looking at potential foreclosure for this program to come out, reach out to Don sooner so that he can get the process started, including bringing anything to bear with the homeowner assistance program once it is launched at the beginning of May, as we understand it right now. Jamie Chandler, before we go, what else? I think we want to ask for, first and foremost, community members' patience. We understand that there's a lot of pent-up demand for this service, and perhaps even the information that we've shared here maybe has dashed some hopes in terms of accessibility to the program for them. It's good to know that there is a program there, but this is we're all sort of learning together and trying to work together to get this out there and to meet the stipulations and regulations that have been set by the federal government for this program.
Absolutely. And so, Jason, you said it very well. We want to be transparent with the community and make you aware of the details as we are learning them. And so we felt it because we received a number of inquiries about support for homeowners. We felt it very important that we communicate the information as we're receiving it. So please be patient with us as we continue to learn and prepare to launch the program. Our ACAP staff, once the program is launched and we have the details finalized, we are here to help support you. We also, just to please remember, we also have our navigators. So if you are finding that you are in need of supports and you're not quite sure where to turn, please don't hesitate to call our office and ask for one of our navigators, because perhaps there are other programs that you could be eligible for that we could perhaps get you connected with as well.
Yes, and I think to that point, Jamie, we talked about if your foreclosure is one of the challenges that you feel like you're facing imminently, Dawn is that person to call. But one of the important things to note, if you do call our agency today about the homeowner assistance program, there is no one to speak to about the technical assistance in terms of getting an application in yet. We haven't onboarded that staff at this point yet. We just have just entered into contracts to do so and are awaiting further instruction as planned. So we don't mean to put folks who call us off, but we're not at that point yet. No one in the state is at the point yet where we're actually accepting applications, let alone having the application portal launched electronically. We do anticipate that when that happens, Jamie and Dawn, as you both know, that as folks who may have challenges accessing that online, we will be able to provide support for helping folks complete that application online. But we want to just sort of tamper folks and help folks understand what's happening on our end so that folks don't have unrealistic expectations of how soon and where this program is going, because there's still a lot of questions. Dawn Whipke, any last words or thoughts from your perspective on this work moving forward?
Just one other thing to mention. During the meeting yesterday, it was brought up that if somebody is in imminent danger of losing their home to taxes, let's say, they will put a rush on that and try to get payment out as soon as possible. So if you're very close to, say, a tax lien coming due, when this is released, please get in there and apply just as soon as possible, because those will be treated with the utmost importance first.
Very good. Very good to know. Very good advice out there, because I'm sure there are folks finding themselves in that situation, Dawn. So thank you for that advice. Jamie Chandler, anything else you want to add before we head out on this edition of ACAP today?
No, just thank you again to the community. We are here to support you. And as soon as we receive the go-ahead to launch the program, we will be letting you know, and here to assist you through that process. And as I mentioned before, if you do find yourself needing help, don't hesitate to reach out to the navigators or Dawn, and we're happy to, ACAP is here to help you.
So I just, Dawn, I just noticed as I was preparing to wrap up here that we did have one other sort of slide of helpful information that maybe we can talk folks through that comes from the Bureau of Consumer Credit Protection and their website, and talking about what types of support will be offered through the Homeowner Assistance Fund. So maybe if you could kind of just quickly walk folks through it before we sign off today.
Sure. The HAP funds will provide homeowners who were affected by COVID-19 with support, including paying off past due mortgage payments, which means, if you're behind on your mortgage loans, they will try to help assist, get you caught up, provide financial assistance to reinstate a mortgage or pay off other housing related to a period of forbearance, delinquency, or default. If you're in a repayment plan and you're having a hard time making the payments, or seems that you're not able to, make it all back, the funds are available for that as well too. Paying off past due homeowners insurance, flood insurance, and mortgage insurance. If you get past due and are in danger of losing your insurance payments, and this is all due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there will be funds available for that as well. Paying off property taxes to prevent tax foreclosures. As we know, they will give you so long to pay them current, but after a while, the lien does move to foreclosure. If you're in danger of that happening, or even if you do have a lien on, there are funds available for that if you've lost income due to COVID-19. Paying off utilities, including electric, gas, sewer, and water bills that are past due. If due to the pandemic, you were not able to make some of your electric payments or your water sewer payments, things like that, this will help catch up on those. Paying off past due amounts for internet services, including broadband, internet access service. Again, if you're able to show where COVID-19 had affected your income and got past due on those, they will pay for that to get them caught back up and back in service. Paying off past due homeowners association or condominium association fees. We don't have a whole lot of that here, but if that is something that you've got behind on, please, fill out the application online and get it into us. And paying off past due manufactured home loans, chattel loan or retail installment contracts. I have not seen a lot of those, but if that is something that COVID has affected, that's another portion that will be covered as well.
One other quick question that just dawned on me as you were going through this list, and I know that this has been the case for other programs, rental assistance, HEAP, and the like. Are there income qualification guidelines on this program that we know of yet?
Not that I know of yet. There may be, but we have not covered that in any of the meetings that we've had.
So as we get closer, I'm sure we'll share that with the community,
Yes.
as we know. So I do foresee bringing the two of you back on as we get closer. I'm thinking to that May 2nd date, assuming that all systems are go by then. I know this program release has been delayed a couple of times, so I don't even want to necessarily guarantee to our viewers at this point and to community members that it will launch. In fact, on May 2nd, there's still, again, a number of details that need to be worked out, but we are anticipating its launch is somewhat imminent. And we will look forward to, again, providing you with more information on that. Thank you again, both, for helping talk our viewers through some of the important information that we need to know. And I think that the most important message moving forward is patience and understanding as it relates to this program. And that as soon as we have more information, we will certainly be in touch with our community on how you can access the portal or the information, the connection to apply for the program, which will start the process. But helpful information from the both of you. Thank you so much. Before we leave the rest of you out there today, we want to just share with you again that ACAP is hiring across Aroostook County. We have positions available from Fort Kent down to Dyer Brook, and for the positions listed here on your screen, we encourage, if you have interest in joining the ACAP team, you can look on our website and our Facebook page to get the open information of positions at the agency and learn a little bit more about the qualifications required for those positions. We encourage you to do that by visiting ACAP acap-me.org. And before we leave you, as we do at each point in this program, we leave you with our photo of the week. And throughout this 50th anniversary for ACAP, we've been leaving you with throwback photos. And some of you may remember this facility and may know what it is today. This is the ACAP facility at 771 Main Street in Presque Isle. Shortly after it was vacated by Fashion Bug and ACAP purchased the building back in 1997. Some of the features are very much the same, including I recognize the way the sign. We've taken off some of the extenders off of the top of the building in the portico area of the facility. But this is what that facility looked like after Fashion Bug had vacated it and moved into the mall, if I recall, back in 1997.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we cannot see your
You can't
photo.
see the picture. I've taken it off. So thank you, Jamie. That's great. I'm going to actually share the screen. I stopped sharing screen instead of moving my slide forward. This is the photo. Don Whitke, Jamie Chandler may be too young, but you and I remember this, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this vividly.
Did you go shopping in there with your mother, Jamie?
I did, and I got my LA Gear sneakers.
Oh, there you go. Yes, it's got the that sort of teal and almost that that retro red kind of look to it. It's got that very like 90s big shoulder pad feel, doesn't it? That is the former Fashion Bug building, now home to ACAP's Customer Service Center for Central Aroostook. Actually, the building you're sitting in right now, Don. Probably a rack of dresses right in the office, right where you're sitting right now. At one point back in the early 90s. So that's our throwback snapshot of the week. And thanks for letting me know that it wasn't up on the screen, because I was going with it being there because it was on my screen. So Jamie Chandler, Don Whitke, again, thanks for joining us. For the rest of you, we'll be back next week with another edition of ACAP Today. We hope you join us then, whether you're joining us online or on the cable access channels of the St. John Valley. We wish you a great week. And again, we'll see you next week. Thanks, everyone.